Hey Most Amazing Top 10 family, I'm your host Chade Arena and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. When it comes to ghosts and demons, I would classify myself as someone who does not subscribe to those beliefs. Like, I'm not gonna look up a bunch of stuff about the occult, but I also don't mess with anything like that. Like, if someone's like, hey, do you want this cursed book? I'd be like, yeah, no thanks. I don't believe in curses, but I also don't mess with them. You feel me? You get what kind of vibe I got? Like, everything on today's list of top 10 scary things left behind by demons, I would never ever touch, but I will still bring them to you digitally. As always, I would love it if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. And stick around for the whole list because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts, which you guys love so much. If any of you at home want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. Anyone who wants more Most Amazing Top 10 content, check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We are starting to do Facebook exclusive content. And if you need some merch, check out the link in the description below. Use the offer code MA10 that will give you $5 off, which means you could grab a shirt for only $10. That's a sweet deal. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. At number 10, we have the Codex Gigas. Said to be one of the most demonic items on the planet, the Codex Gigas is also called the Devil's Bible. It's unknown where the book came from and what it contains. There are sections of the book that are written in an unknown language, and there are entire pages depicting demonic figures that could be the devil. The legend behind this book is that there was a monk who was sentenced to death by his own monastery. He decided to make a bargain with them. He offered to write them a book. This was going to be a glorious work that would encapsulate the entire history of the monastery. Every last detail in one novel. The monastery agreed, but only if he could complete the book in a single night. They didn't even give this guy 24 hours. That's pretty harsh. While working tirelessly on this piece, the monk broke. He knew that the task was impossible, so he requested outside help. Spiritual help. Not from his Lord and Savior, but from the Prince of Darkness. He prayed to the devil who appeared before him and aided him to finish this scripture. It said that anyone who tries to decode this book will be cursed and probably die. At number 9, we have the Dybbuk box. Now, the box itself wasn't really left behind by a demon. If you are unfamiliar with this creation, it's an artifact from Judaism. There are several iterations of the story, but I'm going to give you my favorite one. A Holocaust prisoner used dark magic to summon a demon to try and get rid of the Nazi plague. After the Nazis were defeated, they just had a demon hanging around who was making everyone have a bad time, so this man built a Dybbuk box to seal the demon away. After he passed away, the box got passed from person to person. Each person who owned the box reported having terrible dreams. One person even developed an unknown disease that no one has ever seen before. Eventually, the box was given to a rabbi who sealed the dark energy back into the box and put it away forever. So I would say it's the haunted box, like the demonic presence itself, that was left behind by the demon. At number 8, we have forks. Wait, what? You mean that thing that all of Western culture uses several times a day to enjoy all the tasty morsels of life? And make sure that your hands don't get dirty? Yeah, those. Forks used to be seen as a tool of the devil. People made the obvious comparison between the devil's pitchfork and table forks. But it was really because food was seen as a holy gift. I mean, that makes sense. Think about how long people have been sacrificing people to gods to increase the amount of wheat they get in a year. That happened for a long time. So if you would not touch the food, it meant that you were fearful of this holy gift. There was actually a princess in the 17th century who would eat with a fork, and she died of a sickness, and everyone said that was God's will because she was the devil. At number 7, we have schizophrenia. I want to start off by saying I am in the camp of science on this one. I don't believe that schizophrenia can be caused by a demon, but some people think this to be the case. Throughout history, there have been reports of demonic possession or demonic presence in a person that will cause them to start hearing voices, hallucinate, or even take on a new personality. These are all very similar traits to schizophrenia. Long before we could diagnose such things, people would try to pray away things like pneumonia. Most mental illnesses were seen to be a demon living inside your body. So let's get skeptical for a moment, because you guys come here for the weird stuff. What if mental disease are what demons leave behind you after you have an encounter with them, corrupting your soul, taking over your mind? Again, I am sticking in the camp of science, but maybe mental illness is something caused by demons. At number 6, we have demonic cults. When a crazy satanic cult gets formed, is this just people going crazy and finding an excuse to be crazy? Or is this the bidding of a dark force, pushing people into a certain direction to increase their influence? Some people think that Charles Manson was influenced influenced by a demon or the devil himself. For instance, how was he able to have such a strong influence over these people, to make them follow him without question? He had people murdered at will just by telling people what to do. There's a myth that during his trial he wasn't allowed to speak because prosecutors were worried that he had some inhuman ability to influence people. Perhaps Manson was the puppet of an outside force. At number 5 we have curses. I mean, this one is pretty basic, but I felt like it should be on the list. It seems like everywhere a demon goes they leave behind some sort of curse or sickness or something. They aren't really in the game of helping people. A demon doesn't come into your home and make sure you pay all your bills on time and meal prep. No, they want to make your life worse. I think it's just in their nature to do that kind of stuff. We have covered some curses left behind by demons on this channel before, things that could make you go insane or make you get terribly sick, but my favorite is the curse of Spider-Man. It's a terrible omen that affects the Broadway play Spider-Man. People have sustained so many injuries rehearsing for this play that the production has been put on hold several times. One time a rope holding an actor 3 stories up snapped and sent them falling into the orchestra pit. Even one of the producers died from a stroke before the play even opened. Some demon out there is like, this can't happen. Even though I'm a demon, a play about Spider-Man is too horrible to go on. At number 4 we have curse words. It only makes sense that we follow curses with curse words. Apparently a lot of horrible things that we spew out of our mouths every day come from demons. Specifically the demon Scariest. If someone summoned him, he would give them a great gift. He would offer you the knowledge of every language in the world. A very useful skill. You could work for the UN and find out if anyone was talking trash about you. But here's the catch, he's a demon. Of course there's a catch. He would only teach you all the curse words of each language. Not the best way to build friendships all over the globe. Something cool about this guy is he would appear in front of you as an old dude riding a crocodile. I would totally get tricked by this. Some old man on a croc rides up to you and he's like, hey, you want to swear in every language? I'd be like, yes dude, what's your Instagram? At number 3 we have familiars. There won't always be a big bad devil who torments you. He might send one of his lackeys, and even they might send one of their lower tier creeps to torment you. Who am I, chopped liver over here? I can't get some top tier tormenting? Familiars can be creations or beasts that come from a more powerful demon and left behind to ruin your life. Some people will experience these things through nightmares, or they could be the creature that you see in the corner of your room while you have sleep paralysis. At number 2 we have fears. Ooh, boo, you're scared. From what I understand about possession is that strong-willed people are much harder to take control of. So how do you break someone's will? Well, you have to make them watch the same Disney movie over and over again, and that's why I think kids are secretly demons trying to ruin our lives. Of course I'm just kidding, but why do kids like watching the same movie on repeat, like back to back? Like dude, there's so many movies out there. A demon might leave some fears in your soul, slowly breaking you down. Think of it as planting a seed and letting it grow. They'll leave a kernel of something horrible inside your psyche, wait for you to have an emotional breakdown, and then take over your body. And for our number 1 spot we have markings. Now let's get into the nitty gritty. If you actually encounter a demon, they might try to put their grubby little hands on you, and it never goes well. From working on this channel, I've probably read over 100 reports of different kinds of branding demons have left on people. It could be something as simple as scratches, just small ones, the kinds you wake up with when you're like, what, did that happen? I don't remember scratching myself. To full on bite marks, bruises in the shape of humanoid teeth with very defined canines. The craziest one I read about was from Reddit user Ricora. She said while walking through a haunted house she felt a burning sensation on her face. Someone turned on the light and everyone could see a bright red handprint on her face like she had just been slapped. Yo, if a demon walked up to me and slapped me, I would pour holy water over my hands and I would Sugar Ray this dude. You'd be screaming no mask by the time I'm done with you. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and as promised I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. If you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets every day, so if you don't get picked one day, message back another day. Message me as many times as you want, I don't care. If it takes me a while to get back to you though, I'm very sorry. I have a lot of these to do, and I do like you guys getting involved. I love all the fans reaching out and everything is so great. And without taking any longer, let's shout out some pets. First we have Muriel and Yuri, 2 cat buddies hanging out on the bed. They have a sweet life. Next we have Louise's cat Eclipse. This dude is just chilling there on the scratch and post like a king. Next we have Harvey. This little dude was named Harvey because he was born during Hurricane Harvey. That's a very intense way to come into existence. Indica sent in a picture of Ivy and Espina, two big old cuddle buddies having a snooze in a car ride. Vonnie wanted a shout out for Roxy and Max. Two more cuddle buddies, that's a lot of doggos snuggling in one video. And finally we have Kiwi and Capri, two very photogenic birdos. These guys are great to look at. Alright everyone, that is our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I have been Shade Arena, and I need to find that old dude on the crocodile so we can hang out.